You know, there's a reason Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is still a massive bestseller decades after it was written. And the reason is simple. The advice in it just plain works. The principles are totally timeless. So in this explainer, we're going to break down two of the most powerful rules from the book, two little shifts in how you interact with people that can instantly change everything. Ready? Let's get into it.
Have you ever been there? You're in the middle of a conversation, you're telling a story you're excited about, and you can just see the other person's eyes start to glaze over. Their attention is just gone. It honestly feels like you're invisible. You're making sounds, but you are not making a connection. It's a frustrating feeling, right? And it's the exact problem Carnegie wanted to solve almost 100 years ago.
But here's the good news. This is not a permanent state of being. Carnegie's whole point is that being liked isn't some magical quality you're born with. No, it's a skill. It's something you can learn. And when you master it, it's like unlocking a social superpower. So let's start with his first big idea.
Okay, so here's rule number one. And it's all about completely flipping the script on how we usually approach conversations. See, most of us walk into a room thinking, how can I sound interesting? What can I say that's witty or smart? But Carnegie says, nope, that is the completely wrong question. The real secret is a huge shift in your focus.
And here it is. It's so simple it's almost deceptive. The secret to being interesting is to be interested. Seriously, that's it. Instead of trying to broadcast what you care about, tune into their channel. Find out what gets them excited. Carnegie realized that this one little pivot pays off big time because it opens up your entire world.
Okay, so that sounds good in theory, right? But how do you actually do that in a real live conversation without it feeling, I don't know, a little forced or awkward? Well, it's actually way simpler than you might think. It really just boils down to three simple steps. First, do a tiny bit of homework. If you know you're going to talk to someone, find out one thing they're passionate about. It could be anything: their hobby, a project at work, their kids. Second, ask them a genuine, open-ended question about that thing. And third, and this is the absolute key, just listen. Really listen. Let them go. You will be amazed at how quickly you'll build a real connection.
Now for the second rule. And this one is a biggie. Carnegie actually calls it the one all-important law of human conduct. I mean, listen to those stakes. He says if you follow this law, you'll have more friends and more happiness than you know what to do with. But if you break it, you're just asking for trouble. So yeah, this isn't just a friendly tip. He frames it as a fundamental law of our nature.
And here it is. This is the bedrock, the foundation for everything else. Always make the other person feel important. And let's be super clear. This isn't about fake flattery or trying to manipulate people. It's about genuinely recognizing that every single person has value and finding a sincere way to show them that you see it. Because deep down, that's what we all want, isn't it? To feel like we matter? And hey, Carnegie wasn't just pulling this idea out of thin air. He was backing it up with insights from people like the great psychologist William James, who called this craving to be appreciated the deepest, most fundamental principle in all of human nature. He said it's what separates us from animals. It's the very engine that drives civilization forward. To really show you how powerful this is, Carnegie shares this perfect little personal story. It's a simple, everyday encounter that demonstrates this whole principle in action, and it all starts in a place we've all spent time, waiting in line at the post office. So Carnegie is standing there, and he's watching this postal clerk, and you can just picture the scene, can't you? The clerk is totally checked out, just bored out of his mind by the grind of weighing envelopes, selling stamps, making change over and over and over. He's not really a person in that moment, he's just a cog in a big machine. Now, most of us would just get our letter mailed and leave, right? But Carnegie decides to run a little experiment. He gives himself a mission, a small personal challenge. He thinks to himself, you know what? I'm going to try to make this bored, indifferent clerk genuinely like me. So, how does he do it? Well, he doesn't talk about himself. Instead, he just looks at the clerk and asks himself a question. What is there about this person that I can honestly admire? He's looking for something sincere. And in this case, he notices the clerk has a fantastic head of hair, so he just says so. A small, specific, and totally genuine compliment. And the effect is immediate. It's like a light switch gets flipped. The clerk's whole expression changes. That bored, tired look just melts away, and it's replaced by this huge, warm smile. In that 1 second, he wasn't just a nameless clerk anymore. He was a person who was seen and appreciated. and that one small act of recognition completely transformed the whole interaction.
See, that post office story shows that these principles aren't for some big, high-stakes negotiation. They work everywhere, in every conversation. So the real question for you and me is, how can we start using these social superpowers in our own lives, starting, like, today? So let's boil it all down. It really just comes down to these two keys. First, shift your focus. Stop trying to be interesting and start being interested in their world. And second, feed that deep human need to be valued. Find something you can honestly and sincerely appreciate in them, and then just say. So I'm going to leave you with this challenge. The very next time you talk to someone, whether it's a coworker, the barista making your coffee, or your best friend, just ask yourself this one question. What is one small, sincere thing I can do or say right now to make this person feel important? Just try it. The results might completely surprise you.